Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now, I will read you this beautiful headline, and I will give you about 3 seconds to think what you think it means. Okay? It comes from Ukrainska Pravda, so it doesn't come from the Russians, it comes from the Ukrainians. There you have it. So, Zelensky orders rapid building of fortifications on quote-unquote all major fronts. 3, 2, 1, 0. Why do you think he orders that? Do you order that when you're winning? Or do you order that when you expect someone to come over? The same thing with the evacuations. When Ukraine orders mandatory evacuations from various areas like Kupiansk or from Kherson, that tells us, and Zaporozhye, these are the areas where they conducted mandatory evacuation of children and the civil population, civilians. What does it mean? Well, most likely they are expecting to be losing and the enemies to advance. So it's something that you expect not to be able to hold for some time. So you evacuate civilians in case those guys break the front. You can just move back behind your fortifications and wait for them. Remember, the Russians did that at the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. And remember how the Western media interpreted that? Exactly like this. The Ukrainians are advancing. Well, they did well because when the counteroffensive started, the Ukrainian counteroffensive, I think it didn't even penetrate the first line of defense of the Russians. I think they claimed they broke one area, and then I haven't heard anything after that. So let's see what the all major fronts Zelensky refers to. Oh, anyway, I think Ukraine is about to collapse and they try to regroup, and that's a good thing because your current fortifications, defense lines are flimsy. They will be broken, penetrated by the Russians. So Zelensky has held a meeting with the military leadership in Zaporozhye, where they discussed the construction of fortifications on the contact line with the Russian forces. Now, Zaporozhye is where the Ukrainians claim they conducted the counteroffensive. It's right here. This is the line. This is Zaporozhye Oblast. So they said that we're gonna, first he's visiting here without Zaluzny. It's just, I know that from another article, that is Zelensky and the Crimean Tatar, who is the defense minister of the Ukrainian people. Them, the two of them, just the two of us, exactly, just the two of them went over there to look at the front. No Zaluzny. As I said before, these guys want to bypass, want to isolate Zaluzny. So let's go back to the article. Remember, this is what they're talking about right here. And I'm quoting, I have just held two important meetings in Zaporozhye, an operational one with the military, with Generals Tarnavsky, Moskalyov, Litvinov, and all those responsible for defense here in Zaporozhye. Defense, not offense. The second meeting was actually a nationwide meeting on fortifications, on all major fronts where we need to boost and accelerate the construction of defensive structures. Of course, maximum attention is paid primarily to Avdiivka, Marinka and other fronts in Donetsk Oblast. Avdiivka, Marinka, the Kupiansk district in Kharkiv Oblast, as well as Kupiansk-Liman defensive line, and the whole of Kharkiv, Sumy and Chernihiv and Kiev and Rivne Oblast and Volyn Kherson Oblast in the south as well. So basically everywhere. So he started with Avdiivka Marinka. Avdiivka Marinka is right here in Donetsk. So right here where Avdiivka is lost is right here. Marinka is lost. See where the Russians advanced here? So these two. Then he said Kupiansk Liman. Kupiansk is right here. You see where the Russians advanced right here. So Kupiansk, they had an forced evacuation from here, from Kherson, from Kupiansk area. And then Krasny Liman is right here. So again here, you see how this goes like this? Again, no, not good. Not good at all. You see how this goes like this? Again, not good. And then he said Polisia and Chernihiv, Sumy and Kharkiv. Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, and he said Kiev as well. So right here too, in Kiev. So they think about this one right here. And then say Vinnytsia as well. So let me go back to this one and reiterate what he said. Avdiivka Marinka, we covered that. Donetsk Oblast. Kupiansk is up there in the most east or the northern part of the front. In Kharkiv Oblast as well as Kupiansk Liman. Kupiansk Liman is right here. And the whole of Kharkiv and Sumy and Chernihiv and Kiev. So he said Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernihiv and Kiev. So all that, so they want all this blocked as of now. All, and he's in Zaporozhye, so all this as of now. And then he says Rivne Oblast and Volyn, Kherson Oblast in the south as well. So Kherson is right here. So basically, starting from here, from the Black Sea, he wants defensive, like the whole front. So he expects the whole front to collapse. The whole front. Here it is. So basically everything. I will tell you a little story. The president said representatives of regional authorities, military leaders, Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and his deputy Alexander Pavlyuk also presented reports at the meeting. So as I said, the defense minister was with him. And I'm quoting, "We discussed the mobilization of resources, the motivation of private business in this work and financing. The priority is obvious. I'm grateful to everyone working on this kind of construction and on the production of materials." Zelensky added that they had also discussed the need that Ukraine will work on with its partners to strengthen the defense lines. And I'm quoting, "Special attention is being paid to the construction of shelters in schools, Okay, so it's clear they're expecting the fronts to collapse everywhere, it seems like, everywhere they mentioned. Why would you prepare? As I said, that's logical. I'm not going to even debate that anymore. Now, let me tell you the little story. So since he says, we're going to build main fronts like everywhere. I remember when I was in Romania and I was in a dojo and we were doing sparring. And how do you do sparring? You create two lines face to face, and then fight the guy, got back, and then rotate. So it's like you rotate all the time. So you go to the third one, the third one, the third one, the third one, or every other you meet and fight. And I got to this guy, he was a big guy, but he was puffy. He didn't have spirit. And we're ready to fight, and he was like, didn't want to fight. And I said, well, why don't you tell me what hurts you, where it hurts, what pain you have, so I don't hit you there. And he said, everywhere it hurts. Fuck off, go home then. Or what the hell, I started laughing. The same with this guy. We need to reinforce the defense fortifications in all major fronts, basically everywhere. Everywhere. So expect this front to collapse, my friends. I mean, I don't know how else would you interpret this. I mean, you expect the other guys to come over. That's why you build fortifications, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't care about that. You just march forward. So you're waiting for the guys to pay you a visit. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.